Let's see. Also, I'd just like to take a moment to just ask you guys if you could keep my little Brady in your prayers, because he's my little doggy that this my children's book series is based on, and he's between 13 and 14 years old. So he's been around a while, but he's feeling really sick. And I don't know if he is, just eaten something bad, or if he is going to be saying goodbye to us soon. But it is
Oh,
stressful. And yes, we can use all the prayers we can get for little Brady. So, all right. So I'm on YouTube, and this is our weekly open Q&A session, which I absolutely love to do. It's my service to the author community and gives me an opportunity to serve those who are new to self-publishing and have things that they would like to better understand. The reason why a lot of people say, April, why do you do this? For me, my why is really about not having authors get taken advantage of through, there's so much going on right now with predatory publishers. There are many people out there who have a dream that they want to bring to life. And unfortunately, whenever you have dreams and people that see that, oh, there's potential money to make, they want to jump on this, and they start contacting authors, and I can't even tell you how many people I've had to unravel from that. And so my goal in this Q&A is to help new authors get answers to questions that they have and guide them into the right direction on whatever questions that they have. And also to give you an opportunity to learn a little bit more about me and what I do with self-publishing made simple. So I'm going to go ahead and just open up to questions. It's, first of all, is there anybody that is brand new and has not been here before? I would love to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. I don't think, Elizabeth, you've been on any of our events before, have you?
I have not.
Would you like to just introduce yourself and say hello?
Sure. I'm Liz Beaton, and should I should I talk a little bit about why I'm here, or
Please do, please do. I would love to hear more about your story.
so I am not I wasn't an author until until 2022. This book came to me 27 years ago. I was rocking my son to sleep and painting his face. He was 2. And I had meditated on 7 scriptures before I was putting him to bed. And for some reason, and I only God knows, the story came out of my mouth. So I was improvising a story, and it came out in its entirety. There was only one edit that was made. The publisher that took me on said that we can only print what angels have said in the Bible. We cannot print anything that you imagined angels to say. They can think these things, but we cannot, and I wholeheartedly agreed with that. So that one edit was that the angels were thinking instead of speaking these words. And so anyway, the book just came through, and I looked up and said, oh, wow, one day I will publish your book. And so 27 years later, it happened. But I landed in a situation where I think I could have been categorized as landing in with a vanity publisher.
Okay.
However, I think that I made good with the situation. I have no problem sharing my sordid tale
Mhm.
later on if anybody wants to hear, but I spent a whole lot of money and I recouped that money and I was able to sell almost 3,000 units. So I severed from that publisher and now I'm self-publishing and we have our own publishing company, my husband and I, and we're ordering now 2,000 units and hoping to sell those in the next year. We sold 3,000 in 18 months, which was a pretty good run. But I made a lot of mistakes just not knowing and getting in with somebody that I trusted. And I think that I spent a whole lot more money than I needed to spend, and other people made money on me, but we were able to turn that around.
Well, I'm so glad that you're here. Are you looking, do you have any specific questions for me or any guidance that you need with regard to the Q&A? What brings you to the Q&A session today?
I was going to listen because it's my first session, and I think other people may be earlier in the process than I am. But
Mhm.
my questions center around Amazon. I have not needed Amazon,
Mhm.
and I still don't need Amazon, but I feel as though my you'll maybe later you'll hear a little bit about my marketing plan and how I went about selling. And I didn't use Amazon and I didn't need Amazon. I understand that Amazon is the place to be. And you know, my book will have worldwide exposure. And so this summer, that's my project.
Okay.
To get on Amazon, understand I am on Amazon, but I don't understand. Somebody else set it up for me and I don't understand what I'm doing.
Okay.
Um, and I also want to know how to do ads, but I really would like to take a step back and hear where everybody else is and also share, April. You can use me as an example of somebody who landed in I spent $30,000.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And just comparing that to those that come through my 90-day way program, I would say, between 5 and 10 usually.
Yeah.
And that is all inclusive of their illustrator and editor and all of the stuff that they do, plus the course that I use. So yeah, that's quite expensive. Um, Great lesson to learn though, and the fact that you were able to recover from that and to sell that many is just, I think it's a fantastic opportunity, perhaps to have you share a little bit. So let's kind of go around and see if there are other questions. But if you're willing to share more about your journey and how you were able to kind of come out of that, I'd be happy to circle back with you. I think that would be very valuable for others. So I'll put a topic. Oh, Pat says April is an ads wizard. Thanks. Thanks, Pat. I do really enjoy talking about Amazon ads and working with folks on that. So that's perfectly fine. I would also say, just a comment before I kind of switch away from you. Have you given any thought to Ingram Spark? Are you doing anything with Ingram for distribution
Are you
besides
direct?
just, yeah, besides just KDP? Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm not doing Katie. Are you talking to me?
I am,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm not doing, I don't understand KDP. I'm not doing KDP. I'm publishing through Favors and Faith Press
Okay.
and, I have a market. Uh, I donate all of the proceeds for this book.
Mm-hmm.
So, I speak at churches nationwide and churches will make 20% of the profit wherever I'm speaking. They make 20% um, for their purposes.
Oh,
And then their local charity will make 20%. And then I have four charities that I support. So the remaining funds are split between those four charities.
I see.
Um,
So when you
so
say that you're on Amazon, is that through your publisher? They posted you and published you
my
on.
my previous the long story how that happened. After I severed from my publisher, um, I became friends with one of their senior people.
Mhm.
We ended up meeting. I had an engagement in Las Vegas, and they live 2 hours from Las Vegas. So I met my husband and I met and this person. And so I asked him, I said, I am severing from this company, or actually I had already severed at that point. I asked him if he could advise me and help to get me on Amazon because I was being sponsored by a national organization in Washington, D.C. And I felt that I needed to be on Amazon if somebody couldn't visit my booth, that they knew where to buy the book.
Okay.
So he set me up on Amazon. I know I'm on Amazon. I just don't know how to use the fulfillment center and all of that. I know that I get messages that they're selling. Um, but that's how I was able to get on Amazon. So um I
Got
am
it.
still using my model where I am invited by a church. I speak at a church. I sell after masses and after services, depending on what type of, and I've been to all sorts of events, not just churches, but various events. And I speak on the topic, God's creation is not arbitrary. And then the book kind of dovetails. It
Hmm.
teaches children that they have a purpose and that they were meticulously crafted for that purpose.
I love that. Okay. Um, Wonderful. So thank you for sharing, and we'll certainly circle back with if we have time. I'd love to come back and hear more about this, and maybe others will have questions about the tactics that you've used. But it sounds like a great opportunity to bless um, others and to just pour into the churches and others to benefit, other charities to benefit. So great, good for you. And let me just go ahead and see, does if anybody else has a topic or question that you'd like to address in the Q&A, please do go ahead and post that. I'm going to just take a quick look also on our YouTube as well. Let me see. All right, so Vic says, I just put my kids' book on KDP and I'm awaiting a proof copy and am also interested in Ingram or Amazon. What's the better percent for me? Vic, thank you so much for your question. I wanted to let you know, so when we talk about print on demand, right? So this is not you going out and getting many copies printed and then selling those offset print copies. This is print on demand where you upload your books, and that's what KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, which is Amazon's platform, is used for with and that's what I understand you're using. Ingram Spark, what I really like about Ingram is that they distribute your book to, gosh, I think it's 40,000 different places where you've got, when you post your work through Ingram Spark, it is print on demand, and you'll, upon publishing, you'll find your books on barnesandnoble.com. They eventually make their way to target.com and walmart.com, Books A Million. So lots and lots of places that are online bookstores and retailers. And it also blasts the information to where libraries can find your book, and bookstores who purchase through Ingram can also purchase your books as well. And pricing and profit that you're going to make depends on the size of your book, how many pages, is it color, is it black and white, what are you charging for your book, and then what kind of a discount are you setting up for those places like Barnes and Noble who want to bring your book into the store. So there's lots of different variables, but what I do really love is that you have the ability to get distribution through Ingram Spark, and without having just Amazon do it for you instead, which is that expanded distribution that you see in KDP. And because most of the bookstores, libraries, and those that are in the children's book world are not really interested in purchasing from Amazon if they're a bookstore, right? That Amazon puts bookstores out of business. Same thing with libraries. They want to support their local bookstores, and they purchase from places where they can get bulk discounts and they can order more. So this is the kind of thing that Ingram Spark provides to us. And recently they've added a new feature that I think is really another great plus for authors, is they allow you to sell directly to people instead of only making your book available for distribution. I can now set up a link where I can sell my book and send people directly to that link, and they can purchase directly from Ingram Spark. So in the same way that people go to Amazon and order your books on KDP, on Amazon.com, they can go to this link and you can set up special discounts, and you basically are removing the middleman and allowing bookstores to go directly and get special discounts for bulk purchases. Or you can also link to this direct sales right from your author website. So lots of great opportunities there as well. And it doesn't cost anything to upload your books, although you will need to have a slightly different file format. So for those that you're working with to format your files for KDP, you will also need to let them know that you also want files for Ingram. I typically recommend that they do a paperback as well as a hardcover version for Ingram. Because one of the other benefits of Ingram Spark for children's book authors specifically is they do provide print on demand hardcovers for those that are picture books. With Amazon, KDP, they only allow you to print hardcovers on demand if you have at least 75 pages or more. And most of our children's books are, 32 pages, 36, 40 pages. So we can't do hardcovers print on demand through KDP on Amazon. But that goes away with Ingram, and you can have a hardcover print on demand book through Ingram Spark. So awesome opportunity. Obviously, at some point, if you're making great sales, maybe you want to sign up with a different distributor. After you've proven that you can sell lots of books, there are other distributors that might want to take you on. But in lieu of that, this is a great first step towards getting you there. Okay.
Who are some other?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm not used to doing this, and I will blurt out a question.
No, you can absolutely just yell out the questions. There's not very many of us on Zoom right now, so feel free. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can you give me some other distributors? I thought there for a moment there that Ingram Sparks was a monopoly. Who are the other distributors?
So no, there are other distributors, and I'm trying to think. One of them that I know of that I've been vetting to see whether or not I want to bring them in for my authors is Pathways. It's a distribution, an opportunity for distribution for children's books and for others that does not have kind of like you must have sold a certain number of books. Gosh, I'm trying to think of others. Baker and Taylor is another distributor that is a good one. If you have the kind of sales that you have, Elizabeth, I would probably go to Baker and Taylor and go through their online website and follow the steps in order to get them to consider your book. You have to have a marketing plan, and there are certain things that they want to know, like about your sales and things like that, but you can go directly to them. And I know that there are others as well. I've not done a lot with distribution, and I'm not sure off the top of my head others, but I would just look for book distribution and see if there's others that have that. Then perhaps there are others that can even share other distributors that they work with as well.
May I ask, Ingram Sparks, what do they require?
Nothing.
Okay.
No requirement, nothing that is going to prevent you from getting listed there. As a matter of fact, as soon as you publish a book with Ingram, your book gets pushed out to Barnes and Noble and a bunch of other locations, so that when you Google your book a week later, I've got some authors that come to me and go, oh my gosh, my book is being pirated. It's all over these websites everywhere. And I'm like, no, don't worry. That's what Ingram Spark does for you, is gets your book all over the place. And when people purchase from those other online retailers, then they send that purchase to Ingram and you get your royalty from Ingram Spark. So that's there is something that authors sometimes get confused with. Okay, so Vic says, thanks, I understand it much better now. I'll use Ingram Spark as well. By June, I'll have 3 books in my series, and so it's helpful to know about specials that I can sell as a package. Specials to sell as a package, one of the things that you might want to consider is also thinking about your own website. Authors should be building up a mailing list, building a platform, and driving people to your website. So how much more could you make if you're selling on your website and you're keeping all of that profit instead of sharing it with Amazon or Ingram and the various different retailers that are out there selling your books? So how are you guys doing with building an author platform? I would love to hear more about that. Tell me what you've been doing so far, or do you have questions about building that author platform? So Jennifer says, do you know how much distributors usually cost? So it's not really that they cost something, it's that they do take fees when your book sells, and there are various different requirements. They may require you to send a certain number of books to them. Some distributors will have active sales force that goes out and sells books to places like Target and other retailers, Walmart. Some will just say, yeah, we'll distribute your book for you, but we don't have a sales force. So there's a lot of marketing that you need to do yourself, but they're happy to have you, to get you into the online, the Ingram content structure, and also where these other locations can purchase your book in bulk. But they're not doing a whole lot with regard to personal selling of your book. So like other things, there are combined resources. Some of the distributors will say, hey, we'll warehouse your books. You can, will even fulfill, they'll offer fulfillment and distribution. So there's just look at and get quotes on multiple so that you don't end up going in the wrong direction. Most of the distributors that are worth their salt are going to require you to have sold a certain amount. They vet their authors very carefully. They want to make sure that they're going to make money, and they're going to purchase, they're going to want a shipment so that they can sell your books in bulk. So it's a lot, and then your margins end up smaller and smaller and smaller because they're taking a piece. The people that they're selling to also have to mark up your book, so they are getting discounts there. And in order to make distribution really work for you, you have to have huge volumes to make big dollars. So let's just put that out there. If your book is not selling, thousands of copies, it's probably not going to be worth your while to start working with a distributor. Okay.
Is there a hand raise button here?
Yep, you can do that. I do have a chat question that
Yeah,
do you know how much distributors usually cost? So we covered that. It sounds like Ingram Spark is free marketing. Not really. Ingram Spark takes their piece too, just like KDP does. So when think of them as kind of a print on demand service for you. You're uploading your books to them. They are printing it for you, and then they're taking their piece, and they have this big content distribution to a whole bunch of other places so that your book can get out onto these other websites, places like barnesandnoble.com and walmart.com, like we talked about. However, they're not going to really sell or market it for you. So it's not really free marketing. You really still need to do the work to market your book so that you let people know that it is available and that they can purchase it at Barnes and Noble, or even better, ask your platform, the people that are following you, to go to their local Barnes and Noble and request that they bring it into the store. Barnes and Noble will do that if they see that they have a lot of sales through the website, or somebody specifically requests your book be brought in the store. They're also usually pretty good if you walk in and say, I'm a local author and I would love to have my book here in your store. Can we set up a book signing? And it depends on the store. Some are more friendly and welcoming to self-published authors than others, but it's a great opportunity to go to your local bookstores and your local Barnes and Nobles and try to get some additional collaboration going on with them as well. But you have to market. You really have to market and build your email platform, and make sure you're driving people to your website. Why do I think that's so important? Because when people go to your website, many of you are here because you went to my website at one point or another, you signed up for my mailing list. So all of the things that I'm doing, you're receiving my emails, you're coming, I'm providing you value, and you are responding to that value. So how can you do that with your own target market? Because if you start to build your mailing list, let's just say you start out and you've got a few hundred people on a mailing list, an email list, you've got a new book coming out. That few hundred people who have taken the time to register and said, yes, I'm interested in following along on your journey, they're connected with you. And so they're much more likely to purchase second books, third books, fourth books, and to want to know more about what's happening with you than somebody that actually runs across it in a Facebook group or on your Instagram post. Because we never know, with all of the algorithm changes, your Facebook can go away. The algorithm can change. Amazon can close your account, right? But the people that you bring to your own platform, they're not going anywhere. they're under your purview. You can communicate with them. I still think you need to be careful with how you market to them and how you provide value, but they are not people that you are going to lose. So start with a small group and continue to nurture and drive people to your mailing list so that you can increase and continue to market to them. It is by far the most effective marketing that you will ever do. Okay, go ahead, Pat.
I just have a few comments regarding Barnes and Noble since you brought the subject up. But before I do that, I just want to preface my comments to those that are here that I have been through April's course, could never have published a book without her help. Now to Barnes and Noble. You really need to print with Ingram Sparks print on demand because those Barnes and Noble will not order through Amazon KDP. So in my experience was I called the local Barnes and Noble. I asked who the manager was and when the manager would be there. And I went there. I didn't, want to talk over the phone because they're very busy people. So I went there with a sales sheet, just a one sheet about my books and the ISBN numbers, and asked if they would be interested in a book signing. And they did. And I had some good luck with it. It was a very rainy day, but people came in. But what they did is I didn't bring my author copies. They said, no, we order through Ingram Spark. So they ordered the copies ahead of time. So when I showed up for the signing, the books were there. What didn't sell went onto their shelf. So that's how it worked with the Barnes and Noble here in the St. Louis area. But you really want Ingram Spark because they're a fabulous distributor for both paperback and especially the hardcover, because Amazon doesn't do well, they're starting to do hardcovers, I think, in a limited market. So those are my comments. You can get into Barnes and Noble.
Thank you, Pat. Appreciate that. All right. So let me see if I've got any other questions here. So Elizabeth, you had another comment or question?
Yeah, just about what you were mentioning. For distribution to work, you need to have a huge volume to make, to make some money. So how much money do we have to invest in giving this distributor a shipment? How much money are we talking? How many books are we talking about?
Yeah, probably thousands of books, and depending on what kind of book you have and how much that would cost. And each distributor is going to be different and they have their own rules and what they're looking for. Most of them will, if you go in, for example, to Baker and Taylor, their website, they do have an application you can download and you can get a lot of information there. Same thing with other distributors. You might be able to go to Pathway and get some requirements there. They don't have that barrier to becoming a distributor for people, so they will accept anybody. Now that might be a great thing, but it might be also a negative thing. I'm in the process of vetting them to see whether or not what they would offer to my authors would be beneficial before I add them to any kind of recommended list. So more to come there, but I would definitely continue to reach out and get information and really vet whatever just that you're looking for. For example, there's also another gentleman at IAPC Books. Let me just put this down. IAPC Books. Why is this not working? And that would be Jay Maletsky. He runs it's a printing organization. Well, it's helping authors with getting their books printed. It's IAPC, P like Paul, IA, P like Paul, C. books.com, and they do have a number of services that can get you lower price printing and things like that. And he also does have a distributor that he works closely with, and occasionally will introduce authors to that distributor. So it could, you may want to reach out and see if there's some opportunity to get some more information from Jay or his group. But a lot of this, I wish I had more information on this type of thing. Most of my experience is truly with print on demand and helping people get published. Not necessarily, haven't done a lot with distributors to date. And again, that will change as I start to do more and more research on the matter. Okay.
Do you know Jay Maletsky's distributor? You don't know offhand?
Don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I'm sorry. You might want to check out his Facebook group and see if he's mentioned that before.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Do know that he has a number of different events and activities where he brings people together physically, and then gives people an option or an opportunity to pitch to his distributor. And that's another great opportunity. They were just here not too long ago in Boston.
Yes.
And they do a number of different types of events like that. But I don't remember him ever mentioning the name of
Yeah.
the distributor.
If nobody has another question, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Based on what you said before, I have my own methods, and I mean, they're okay, I guess. But I think everybody wants more traffic on their website and so on. How do you drive more people to your email and website?
Yeah, great question. So are you right now, do you have people on your mailing list?
I put a mailing list there, but when they get on my website and order a book, they have to write all their information. So I have them that way. Square, I sell through Square, and I sell through my website, and I get their information that way. If I'm doing a really fast flash, like people are coming out of a church a church meeting or a event, and we're selling rapid fire, I will tend not to take all of that information. But I understand that we can pay Square somehow to upgrade our membership, and that if they're already in the system, we can have access to their information as well.
I see. Yeah, I usually focus on, I'm just going to share my screen for a second. So here's some landing pages that I have for my children's books. So this is a little sister for Brady. It's got a little it's got information about the book and where they can grab it on Amazon. It has a little book trailer and a story about accepting change and important messages from the book. And at the bottom of here, I've got, free bonus content that they can, by putting their name and email here, they can receive the video book. They can receive the activity book, which is, by the way, it's the full activity book in PDF form that they can print, which has a lot of value. I think it's $6.99 on Amazon for the print one, but I also have a teacher's guide or a teaching guide. So all of that free bonus content I talk about in the book. So anybody that purchases my book and they go to the back of the book, I'm driving them to go to my website. I'm going to stop this for a moment. I'm going to stop my share. And so here's the page where I drive people to the website to go and grab the extra bonus content. So it says, get free resources, including printables, the video book, and more. So I created a video book because I thought it was a great option especially for kids who who want to learn to read and they want to read with the video. It also adds some animation and some fun things that parents can download that video book to their devices, and maybe when they're in the car or doing other things, they can also use it. So it becomes a valuable thing for them. I also, by giving them something that they can print their favorite coloring pages and activities over and over again, and that they can get a teacher's guide or teaching guide for how to use the book for a number of different options and opportunities. To me, I'm serving my community, adding a lot of value, and they're going to my website to download those things. And they can certainly check about keeping them in the loop, or they can say, I still want the bonus content, but I don't want you to contact me again. That's perfectly fine. And I'm giving value. So I would just say, don't lose the opportunity to have that, to drive people to your website who have purchased your book, because they could be purchasing it on Amazon. They could be purchasing it other places that you're not physically there signing or sending or, to interact with. So if you can drive them with extra content that they can purchase, that they can download for free, then they're willing to part with their email address. And that can help to allow you to connect. And then you get to use that connection, that email address, which is very valuable, to let them get to know you a little bit. So when somebody does sign up on my email list, they'll get like a warm-up sequence of emails. One maybe welcoming them and giving them their freebie that they requested. And then another one maybe introducing myself and my why, talking a little bit about perhaps another book that I have, or giving them another coloring packet or something like that, activities for the kids. And you can do that. I use Wix as a platform for my website, and it's very easy to just create a nice sequence that will give them, send this one, wait 5 days, send this, wait 5 days, send this, and also just connect with them on whether it's a monthly basis, a weekly basis, with your just regular emails to engage your audience. That's going to help keep people available, understanding what you're sending, and they won't be just hearing from you when you are trying to sell them something. Anyone else have ideas or things you're doing to grow your mailing list? Pat, I know you do a lot with store, like going to farmers markets and things like that. Do you have like a sign up form that you use when you're there to allow people to give you their email address?
April, I'm not very technological. And although I do have a Wix website, I have tried to master that, sending out emails, and it just hasn't worked.
Okay.
I do not have an email list. It's just something I've never mastered and difficult to keep up with. I'm lucky to keep up with my Amazon ads. So no, I do not have a mailing list. And I know that's a detriment as an author, but I'm sorry, it's just not in my wheelhouse right now.
Well, if you need help with that,
I know, April.
Happy to do that. And we also, and for those that have website issues or would like to learn more about website stuff, Glaza Ganaba, who is my website developer, also hosts a morning session on, I believe it's Wednesdays, where she talks about websites and goes through answering questions specifically about websites, and will allow you to just share your screen, and she'll help you. And also she does a great job with creating websites at a very reasonable cost for authors as well. So that's something for those that are part of my mastermind. There's lots of drop-in opportunities like that, where you can get some real one-on-one, or group coaching, not one-on-one, but group coaching, and some help, hands-on help that can get you over those places where you're stuck. Okay, go ahead, Sally. Did you have one to share?
Hi, yeah. So I know some of you, not all of you, but I was in April's course this winter and spring. So I'm going step by step, and it seems like a lot, but I keep going step by step. So a big step is that I am going to be this winter, right before Christmas, attending a craft and fair, and it's very large. And so it's called Christmas in the Town. And so what I decided to do for emails, I'm going to be giving away, in my book, there's a squirrel that appears in every page. So I ordered a stuffed squirrel that looks like him, and I'm going to have a raffle where they put their email address on, and then I'm going to, at the end of the day, give away this squirrel. So hopefully they've come to the stand and purchased some books and looked at some things. So I'm going to get some emails that way. So I haven't been great in getting emails yet, but I thought that's something that I could do.
Good, good. Yeah, and there are other ways too. Let's talk about other things. So some people will put a sign up form that says, would you, if you'd like to be a part of my launch team, or if you want to sign up to get, you know, special notifications of new things or be on my email list, however you want to do that, you can have them sign up. That's one way. Another way that I've seen people add some more emails to their mailing list is to do like drawings or giveaways. And so if you have like a gift basket of things, and it's like, oh, if you want to be entered, you know, fill out this little thing with your email address on it, drop it in. I'm going to pull a winner at the end. Now, I know, and they also have the virtual version of that as well. And if you're interested in running a giveaway for yourself and using a tool that's absolutely free, you can use something called kingsumo.com. I'll try to put it in here. Let's see if it lets me now. Kingsumo.com. It's a tool that you can use for giveaways, and you can partner with other people. But the danger, you know, where you're giving something away, people have to give you their email address. The danger of that is that really what you have is people that are just freebie seekers or trying to win something, but they're not really interested in you or what you do. And so there's some of that happens. However, that is, you know, another option to build an email list. Another would be doing newsletter swaps with maybe another author who and things like Story Origin is a tool that helps you with that. Story Origin. There's also it's not Book Vault, book one. Gosh, it's escaping me. But you're basically joining Book Funnel. So Book Funnel also, you can sign up and you can allow people to get free copies of your book as like advanced reader copies, and they give you their email, but they also allow you to sign up to do newsletter swaps with people. So other people in your genre will promote you and your book, and you agree to also promote them in your email list. And so that's another way to do that. I also have seen authors collaborate together to create something really special, like putting together a bunch of free books. I remember like Earth Day, there was a dozen different authors that had different types of books around conservation and you know, taking care of the environment and playing outside. And they all got together and decided to make their ebooks free. And so as part of that, they put together a nice graphic, and then they all promoted the books or this free ebook day to all of their lists. And as a result, one author had an opportunity to get discovered by 11 different, mailing lists that were going out, and social media that each one of the authors were posting about. So that's another way of expanding for people who are already on maybe a similar email list that follow a specific author who is also delivering books similar to yours. So that's another way, again, to expand and grow that author mailing list as well. I want to tell
And
you.
I also took your advice about putting, my book isn't out yet, but it's just now finished. But I took your advice and put the QR code in the back matter, and then my freebies are some illustrations. So my illustrator gave me some of the black line drawings to use as the freebie coloring pages.
I like that. Here's a secret weapon too that I have used and my authors have used that really helps you grow your mailing list. Is think about your target audience. Where are you finding them? Let's just say for me, I am targeting authors who are looking to publish a book, which is just so happens to be true. And I put together a little survey and say, hey, I've got I'm looking to better understand authors and their needs so that I can create some, unique offerings. Would you be willing to just fill out a short survey? I'm going to be, giving away a gift certificate or this or that for those that complete the survey. Maybe it's just a minute, a little survey that gives me valuable information about my target audience, but it also at the end says, can I add you to my mailing list? And so that you can learn more about the results of this survey and the special things that I put together as a result of it. And most of the time, like 90% of the time, people say yes. So what a great way, so let's just say, Sally, your book is a Christmas book about a little girl making a difference, right? So perhaps your survey would be about, the importance of kindness and, how are you helping your child learn about kindness? What are your favorite books on kindness? What kinds of things are you looking for? What kind of tools might you look for? Maybe have some different options like projects about kindness or things for teachers on kindness, right? I'm just throwing things out. But if you were to go into homeschooling groups and post on social media, also go into some of the author groups, because a lot of authors are parents. I buy a lot of children's books. So, find your target audience where they are, and then give them that option of helping you by filling out a survey. Most people don't mind if it's like, hey, it's just going to take you 2 minutes and it will give me such valuable information that I can use to help serve you all better. And I'll bring something, as an opportunity for you back to the group. So yeah, I think that's another great way to do it. Does anybody else have any unique ways that you have built your mailing list? Okay, so
when I started, I went back to every single person that was in my phone. I went to childhood friends, organizations that I went to and was part of, even my doctor's offices. I sent them to them, and the tax man. So I just sent to everybody. And then I just recently posted on several different Facebook groups, besides my usual Facebook, back to the high school days. And I'm getting like 75 people that have responded. Not that they necessarily are signing up for my email list, but they're at least responding positive to that. So.
right. I love that. Yeah, I think that's a great opportunity, just starting to talk about your book. One thing that I really love about what you're doing, and just being part of your journey, I'm going to put you on the spot here for a second. I'm going to add a spotlight here for you. You have just recently published your book, and I want to give you an opportunity to talk about it. I also, I have watched you go from somebody who had no idea how to share a screen to somebody that has been learning so much, and you are getting more and more comfortable. And what I am most pleased with is your elevator pitch for your book and like how you talk about your book. At first, you had no idea how to do it, and you've been practicing. And so I'm just going to give you an opportunity and first want to congratulate you on your best selling book that has just been out, and I'll put a link to it in the chat as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take you off of mute, or go ask you to unmute yourself there and just tell us and tell those that are following us about your book.
Okay, well, first I'll show you a picture of it. I got my first hard copy today, which is upstairs, but here's my book. And the story is about what to do with a worn out American flag. And so it teaches, the story follows the son of a military man, and he notices his friend's flag is torn. And so he and his friend, and his friend's parents decide they need a new flag and learn what to do. And the thing to do is to burn it in a respectful ceremony. So my pitch is that it's honoring our flag and our country and the men and women who serve. And it teaches a little bit about the flag. It teaches what the colors mean, and the stars and the stripes. And I'm getting a lot of positive response, I think. And I haven't figured out yet how to do this, but my market is military, and probably more conservatives than liberals. And I'd really like to get into schools. I've shared with April how the National Flag Foundation said they might like to support me. And that's what I'm really hoping. Once I get the 250 books, hard copies, I'm going to send them to that. And hopefully that will be a positive thing. And a lot of people are saying this needs to be in every library. This needs to be in every school. So that's my market. And Boy Scouts, and I'm having a little trouble with trying to get into Boy Scouts. My sister-in-law, ex-sister-in-law, actually, her sons were Eagle Scouts, and she's going to help me. So I have a lot of people that are coming along saying, this is a great book and we need it out there. So I really have a lot of support from friends, and I couldn't be more pleased. So
yeah. So that's wonderful. And I did put a link to your book there. I'm also going to post it here on the YouTube channel as well. So
you know what I do need to do, April, is I was working with Denise the other day, and my freebies are more educational. They're not really fun. It's like, how to fold the flag, what's the procedure.
right.
And Denise was saying, oh, you need a coloring page or something. So I need to pursue how to do that. I started with that, like an activity book, but I have different thoughts. One, I don't know how much of it I need to create versus Praise doing it. And the other thing is, I think you said it kind of is expensive, and I wasn't sure if you really thought it was worth it or not.
So I think my feedback to you would be really about what is it that your target audience wants? Are they going to want, an activity book about patriotism and the flag? I don't know. Not quite sure. I know that it is an amazing book to help kids learn about the flag, learn about the colors, what it stands for, about what our military, what military service has been doing to protect and to preserve what the flag stands for, and learning about how to dispose of an old worn out flag in a respectful way. I think all of those things are good. I don't know if truly that having some kind of fun activities out of it would be helpful or not. I think it depends on the age group. I would ask kids and ask teachers so that you get, instead of just guessing what to put together, it's not like my little books where it's little dogs, right, that are learning lessons and social emotional learning, where they will have, where kids will love coloring my little doggies. I don't
Right.
think they're gonna love coloring, a flag.
Yeah. I
have
think
no
that's part of it. 'Cause I think, to be honest, I think my market is to the parents.
The
And the
parents, the
parents,
teachers. Also, what about the veterans or veterans groups and things like that? Because members of those types of groups really will value this book and want to share it with their grandkids.
right. I
Great.
need to do that. In fact, yesterday when I was posting it on a bunch of, like I posted it in our neighborhood, and one of the neighborhood guys who I've actually talked to before, he said, post it on our American Legion page. So I posted it on the American Legion page. And I think that's the word of mouth is what's helping. But
Yes.
like I signed up for something called range.me so I could get onto the military bases.
Right.
I need to follow up on that. And
I've used that in the past, and it does take time, and they will try to sell you like some sort of a level up the package.
yeah, that's all I'm getting from them is upgrade.
And I
And then
just know.
Walmart, but they had like all this stuff. It's like, this just didn't make much sense. So,
Yeah, it can be a little confusing. I did try, and I have used it. I am on there with my books. I've had a couple of people in a period of like 7 years follow up with me. Now, I never actively promoted it inside of the app, and I never upgraded to get a better positioning or more visibility. So, but I would ask around maybe other authors who have had better luck in that, and to see whether or not it is truly required.
yeah, well, I think it was $99 for the 1 year, but if I wanted to upgrade, it was like 1,500. It's like Jiminy Crickets. I'm not paying 1,500. So,
So
yeah.
you have to sell a lot of books to get the 1,500.
Right.
I drive around your community, and wherever there's a flag flying, I would give them a little letter about your book.
That's a good
And I
idea.
would go to the school board rather than the individual schools.
I was thinking about that. Yesterday, I live in Washington. I called the state of Washington to learn about getting the license. And so now I know what to do on that. And then it had to do with the city. And so yeah, those are things that I have lots of plans. I just need to pull them out and start working on it. So, and like April knows, I watch my grandsons 3 days a week. So it's trying to work around them.
To whether or not, for example, if there are Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts that are looking to do a fundraiser, would selling copies of your book and they get a percentage like like Elizabeth was doing, and she talked about how she's doing that to give back to the churches in her community where she's speaking. So I wonder whether something like that could be helpful, or if they would be interested in doing that.
That's not a bad idea.
Because the book doesn't necessarily need to be just for children. I think adults would love, like I did not know anything about how to dispose of an old flag. And I think would also be interested in learning about that. And it could be something that could be, could benefit anybody.
Yeah.
So something to think about. Just keep working at your contacts the way that you are, and that's going to help you a lot.
Yeah. I see Healy I actually met with the VFW and the Boy Scouts a few weeks ago, and they were burning flags, and so they allowed me to go, and they allowed me to add a flag to it. They had like 300 flags that they were doing that day. So
Mm.
trying to connect with them. So I need to there's a lot of things ahead of me. I guess that's the bottom line.
And Healy says she's an Army vet and would love, or I don't know if Healy is a woman or a man, but is an Army vet and would love to share that on their page. So
Yeah,
that
I
would
know
be
that.
helpful. So
She's a
feel
woman.
free to exchange emails and, go through that within the chat here.
Okay, I'll do
And
that right now.
yeah.
So I just go directly to Healy to respond, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, written by Healy. Healy, welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have questions that you'd like answered during this Q&A? I'm happy to help. I'm going to be I want to just roll things out. I'm going from my regular open Q&A, which I go live on YouTube, to now closing to those that are here with me live on Zoom. And this is also a time when I go deeper into more advanced topics with my mastermind group. So I'm gonna have to unplug now, and I'm grateful to have you following and watching on YouTube. And I hope that you'll join me next week and potentially join us live. If you are interested in hopping on with us here live, you can do that through aprilcox.com/Zoom to continue the conversation live. And otherwise, I will see you next week.